is this love?" She cried out, her voice trembling yet loud enough to echo in the silence. Confusion painted itself across her face, bold and undeniable. It was more than a question. It was a wound crying for healing, a desperation reaching out for cure. Matilda has always been a child of hope, raised by a single mother alongside her younger sister. She grew up in the shelter of discipline and sacrifice. Her mother's struggle carved resilience into her soul. Her days were filled with books and dreams, her nights with prayers whispered into the dark. She carried herself like a flame, bright, eager, energetic and ambitious. Then came Uncle Smart, a teacher, respected and admired. He noticed her brilliance, her promise, and decided to guide her. He gave her assignments that stretched her mind, advice that steadied her steps, and even in financial support when her mother's effort fell short. To her, he became a shield, protecting her from the hungry gazes and whispered advances of less honorable men. "I have found the Father," she once said with relief. And truly, she felt free with him. She spoke to him of everything, her fears, her struggles, even the quiet secrets of her growing womanhood. In his presence she felt secure, as though wrapped in the invisible blanket of trust. Uncle Smart too vowed secretly within himself, "I will treat her like a sister and a daughter. Feelings have no place here." And for a time the vow held. Their relationship blossomed in harmony, mentor and mentee, protector and a child. But slowly something shifted. Uncle Smart noticed that closeness, the way her eyes lingered a little longer, the way her laughter carried a melody only his ears seemed to catch. He read her vulnerability in bold letters across her heart. Still, he whispered to himself, "I will not betray her trust. I will not wound the soul that sees me as refuge." What he did not know was that Matilda was already fighting her own silent battles. Infatuation had crept in like an uninvited guest, stirring her emotions, shaking her resolve. Yet she resisted for her mother's sake, for her morals and for herself. But the heart is a fragile thing. Week passed and Matilda concealed what Uncle Smart began to feel. What began as mentorship was morphing into something else. Affection blurred into desire, and desire into dangerous curiosity. The breaking point came unexpectedly. It was an ordinary outing, a visit to an amusement park. They wandered through nature's gallery, watching animals roam, birds danced in the skies, flowers bloomed in defiance of time, and fishes gliding gracefully in the stream that sank beneath the bridge. Their laughter mixed with the wind. Their voices rose and fell like a familiar song. But as the sun began to set, the colors of the day began to blur into something unspoken. When her hand rested in his, it no longer felt like innocent clasp of a mentee to her mentor. He noticed the warmth, the softness, as if he were holding it for the very first time. "Your palms are soft," he murmured. Matilda's lips carved into a shy smile, her voice tinkling like glass. "Are they?" And that was enough. One look became a touch. One touch became an embrace. And one embrace slipped into an exploration neither of them have planned. The line blurred. The ground shook. and innocent tremble. Yet at the edge of abyss, Uncle Smart stopped, though not before the damage was done. They left the park in silence. Their hearts carried the weight of what transpired. Days later, guilt began to gnaw at them. Matilda felt betrayed, cheated, and used. The very man she has trusted most have reached too far, and her soul cried out in protest. Uncle Smart, on the other side, wrestled with his own demons, fear for his reputation, the shame of his weakness, and the dread of what he had become in her eyes. Finally, he called her. Her voice was cold, distant. He sensed the frost, and true to his name, he tried to act smart. He carefully stretched the conversation back to the event, and at last Matilda broke. She poured out her heart, confessing how she had felt for months and how she had struggled, but she no longer recognized herself. Uncle Smart, with a voice heavy yet calm, told her the truth she feared to hear. It is because you are already in love with me. Her breath caught. The words felt like a stone dropped in water, rippling through her entire being. Love? She whispered, her voice trembling. Then with sudden force, she cried out, "Is this love?" Thank you for following us this far. The story continues in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also turn on the notification so that you'll be instantly notified when next we upload the next episode. Thank you for following us this far. I am Festus Adelaja.